just want to start by making an announcement. If you didn't see the poster in the lobby, we have Marianne Williamson coming to Unity Friday, February 21st. And the tickets are selling so fast, we just want our Unity community to get their tickets before they're gone, because it's going out to the community now majorly through social media, and I'm seeing them disappearing. So I just want you, if you want to go, you probably want to pick your ticket up today in the bookstore, or you can get it online at unityboulder.com. And the tickets are $30, or there's a meet and greet gathering where you can be with Marianne Williamson for 45 minutes before, and that's $150. And it also comes with the front row seats for the actual evening with Marianne. And I think that's it. We're going to start by chanting together. We encourage you to chant with us. It leaves the world outside these doors, and it makes us just get into that spiritual, higher, connected place where you can't really think about your problems when you're singing. Singing is a very purifying, enlightening practice. So join us. And so we'll be doing call and response, and Norman and I will call together, and Larry and Louie will respond. Okay.
Return to your soul. Remember who you really are. Listen to your heart. Remember who you are. God is everywhere. It's painted in eternity. It's who you really are. And who you'll always be. Return to your soul. Remember who you really are. Listen to your heart. Remember who you are. Return to your soul. Return to your heart of hearts. To your golden dream. To the child inside. And you'll be coming home. Home to where you first were born. Where your roots are strong. Where you once belonged. Return to your soul. Return to your heart of hearts. To your golden dream. To the child inside. And you'll be coming home. Home to where you first were born. Where your roots are strong. Where you once belonged. Return to your soul. Return to your heart of hearts. To your golden dream. To the child inside. And you'll be coming home. Home to where you first were born. Where your roots are strong. Where you once
Just a reminder, I need a couple of volunteers to help clear the altar after the service so that we can prepare for the next service. The French cleric and sage Teilhard de Chardin wrote a conclusive statement. At least he thought it was a conclusive statement. He wrote, "Joy is the proof of the presence of God." And I forgot to mention that we are in kind of a bind today. Both of our projectors, main projectors, are out. And we have this ad hoc television over here and a tiny little cam over here doing it. So if you want to move down closer to see this, this is all you're going to get as far as the overhead and the PowerPoints. So you're welcome to move down even while I'm talking. Don't worry about it. Joy is the proof of the presence of God. It's not a conclusive statement, because even Teilhard de Chardin realized that God is omnipresent, that is, everywhere present, and also part of everything in creation, one with everything in creation. That being true, then we all should have joy all the time. But most people seldomly have joy. To make the statement absolutely conclusive, we have to add a few words. The statement must be rendered, joy is the proof of the awareness of the presence of God. Joy is the proof of the awareness of the presence of God. And that is what transformation is all about. God being everywhere present and joy being everywhere available requires anyone so seeking to become aware in any given moment, any given place, under any given circumstances, become aware of the presence and then experience joy. That is the promise, and that is the truth, and that is the destiny. If you seldom have joy, it is because you are not yet keenly aware of the miracle of consciousness. You are still operating in a dull, somewhat sleepy state of awareness. When joy is mentioned to that level of awareness, it is automatically equated with pleasure, fun, excitement. But pleasure, fun, and excitement are best understood as personally world-generated. Pleasure, excitement, and fun are world-generated experiences, whereas joy is best understood as mystically or spiritually generated. And that which is mystically and spiritually generated is considered foolish by the ego-oriented intellect. What is mystical is considered foolish, non-existent. So today, we're going to try to rise a little bit out of that accepted quasi-level of consciousness, quasi-level of awareness. You could, in these few moments, find yourself into the consciousness divine. You could find a place of awareness that would so enamor the joy, and you'd want to just create that, cultivate that, and stay with that throughout your life. Let's consider another conclusive statement from the Bible, from the Master of Life. That statement is, I am He. And to understand the conclusiveness of that statement, let's look at the passages from the scripture in which it is given. I can't see this. Can we have that next PowerPoint up, please? From the Gospel of John, chapter 8, verses 21 to 29. Again, he, the Master, said to them, I am going away, and you will search for me, but you will die in your sin. Where I am going, you cannot come. Then the Jews said, is he going to kill himself? Is that what he means by saying, where I am going, you cannot come? He said to them, you are from below, I am from above. You are of this world, I am not of this world. I told you that you would die in your sin, for you will die in your sin unless you believe that I am He. They did not understand. So Jesus said, when you have lifted up the Son of Man, then you will realize that I am He, and that I do nothing on my own, but I speak these things as the Father instructs me. And the one who sent me is with me. He has not left me alone, for I always do what is pleasing to God, the one in all, the all in one. So, this scripture, when received in the quasi-awake awareness in which we were born and raised and educated, appears to be relating the idea that Jesus is the one. And that, in short, Jesus at first sight appears to our minds to be a man sent by God to teach us to be good neighbors to one another. Kudos to that. Let's accomplish that. However, the historic man must disappear as a man and awaken as the true self, the ever-present I am in you, your true self. I am who is the name and nature of God, which was given directly in the Old Testament, the book of Exodus, chapter 13, when Moses is being told to bring the children of Israel out of bondage to Egypt. He said, why would they believe me? What is your name, God? I am, God says. I am that I am. And it'll go on to say, beside me, there is no other. Jesus will go on to say, I am in you. You are in me. I am the truth that will make you free. So I'm just hoping to generate the feeling of this omnipresent truth of which we are all a part. A truth that we can enter into and become true channels, true beings of light, so that we know in any given situation what is real, valuable, and necessary. All this speculation and all this foolishness and all this subterfuge that goes on in human relationships, all the make-believe that goes on the spiritual journey, all of that will become meaningless. For you will rise and know how to live in the joy of being, in the miracle of divine awareness. So this is our true calling. These words in the Gospel of John are leading us to an out-of-the-body awareness, an awareness that is not contingent upon the 5 sense input that we receive. As a matter of fact, the body merely becomes a vehicle. It becomes an instrument. It is not me. The human intellect is not the I am. The body is not the I am. As we begin to surrender that definition, when we say I am, and you're thinking from the personal, you're actually taking the name of God in vain. God is not personal. God is impersonal presence, intelligence, and love. And we can align ourselves with that so completely that the personal becomes non-existent. And we live in the love and the joy of that awareness continually throughout existence, forever and ever and ever. To try to relate this, I wanted to share kind of an allegory. You can close your eyes for a moment and think that you live by the ocean and you walk daily on the boardwalk at the ocean. And there are several places where you can go swimming off the pier. And they have some diving boards at different levels, but there's one diving board that is very, very high. Most people don't travel up the 40 feet to that diving board. They are content with the 3-foot diving board. But then one day you decide to climb fearfully, but you climb that 40 feet to the top, to that diving board. And while you're there, you think, the skeptics in you think, what am I doing here? Am I going to just commit suicide? I can't believe I'm up here. But the still small voice prompts you and says, go to the end of the diving board and jump in. And so you walk to the end of the diving board, but then you pause and say, I don't think I can do this. And the still small voice says, you have always been a fish out of water in the world behind you. You have never known what it means to be truly alive. You have been in fear, you have been in sickness, you have been in disease, you have been in conflict, you have been in war. And in all of this, you have not known the joy and the peace of your divinity. So now I say to you, jump. And so you jump. And you don't fall at that terrible speed you were afraid of. You float. And expand as you float. And you expand until you know that everything is God. Everyone is God, worthy of your consideration, your compassion, your service, your love, your joy. There is no specialness left. There is no separation left. So you see how these words in John, when they say, will he commit suicide? Jumping off this board is just that. Will he commit suicide? Because he says, where I am going, you cannot come. That is better understood as you're not ready yet to come. You don't have the faith yet to follow me. And so he will go on to say, you will die in your sin unless you believe that I am he. Be careful, your mind is so trained in your sleepiness to believe that this is about Jesus 2,000 years ago. This I am he means I am the special separate Son of God who's going to deliver you to heaven. You can't get there unless you understand what I am saying to you right now. I am he is the opposite of what you live in. The consciousness you live in, which is, I am not he. I am not them. I am not they. I am not that. I am my special body self. But what he is saying is that this subjective I is also the objective he. Now listen to the prayer that I share with you all the time. I am they. Everything you've ever thought and said they is also God. I am they. And I say, I am he. I am you. I am she. Everything you think of me. Everything you do to me. Because you live in a separated, illusionary idea of self. And you believe that you can continue in thoughts that create limitation, conflict, blame, fear, disease, and sickness. You have become so used to the idea of sickness and disease that you have accepted as life. And you believe it to be the real life. And it is not the real life at all. It is the life of those who are still sound asleep and considered spiritually dead. I'm speaking to you from the Christ consciousness. The world is calling us to be emissaries of light. Can we continue to operate in the sleep state, the illusionary consciousness of the world, when the world so desperately needs us to awaken? I am he is a conclusive statement. There is no other beside me. Everything you look upon is me. Everything you think about me. So now we move a little further down these passages. And he says to those skeptics within us, see, he said, my words will never go away. History must be collapsed. Time must collapse. These words have always been true to those who would read them and open themselves to understand them. So now we get to that place where he's speaking to us about this transformation. So those around him, which is the limited illusionary definitions in our minds, the skeptics, the Pharisees, they're saying, we don't understand what you're saying. Listen carefully now. The words that will never go away. When you raise the Son of Man in you, you will know that I am He. When you raise the Son of Man, if you read the scriptures and you know them very well, you know sometimes he speaks about himself as the Son of Man, sometimes the Son of God. When you raise the Son of Man from the man idea to the Son of God, you will know that you are the Son of God. You will know that I am the Son of God. So you see, when you raise the Son of Man, when you raise the mind that has lived as a Son of Man to understand itself to be the Son of God, you will know I am He. I am they. I am you. I am she. Everything you think of me. Everything you do to me. I am the mountains. I am the desert. I am the sea. I am the stars. There is no one beside me. And I am in you, and you are in me, and this is the truth that will make you free. Open yourself to it. Live from it. Transcend the limitations you were born and raised and held prisoner in your whole life. And the Course in Miracles will go on to put it this way. Can we have this next PowerPoint, please? God wills you perfect happiness now. Is it possible that this is not also your will? And is it possible that this is not also the will of all others? Consider then that in this joint will you are all united, and in this only. There may be disagreement on anything else, but not on this. This then is where peace abides, and you abide in peace when you so decide. Yet you cannot abide in peace unless you accept the at-one-ment, because the at-one-ment is the way to peace. There is no peace in at-two-ment or at-three-ment or at fragmentation. There is never peace, and no one will find peace, and you will die in the sin of separation until you raise the consciousness within you. Recognize your godness. See the miracle and the majesty of being God conscious. Selfless in the service of life, which brings you into the present moment and allows you to do what the moment requires, not what you've always decided and desired and wanted and grasped and to make happen, but to be present and free enough to be present and serve the moment and be appropriate as it requires, whatever it requires of you. Then you are God conscious. As these truths come down through the ages, from master to master to master to master, to all those who would master life. If you don't take anything else away from this service, take this with you. There is no joy in the illusionary definition of self. There can never be joy, there can never be fulfillment, there can never be peace. You will never find your destiny in the definition of yourself as being a separate body intellect, capable of judging that which is required by everybody else. The only decision left to be made is whether or not you will take to task your own awareness, which is first and priority. First and the priority in your spiritual practice. Become that emissary of light that knows this truth. Everything I look upon, everything I see is only God looking back at me. Just relax into the beautiful, holy sounds of these Tibetan bowls. Upon their completion, I will lead you in meditation. Continue, please. Let us gently consider this awareness. Let us rest in knowing I am they, all of them. I am. I am he. Everyone you perceive to be he, I am. I am she. Everyone you perceive to be she, I am. I am the mountains, the desert, the forests, the creatures, the sea, the stars, the universe is me. Be still and know that I am in you, you are in me. I am the truth that makes you free. Be still and know that I am God. I am they. I am he. I am you. I will always be. I am the desert, the mountains, the forests, and the sea. Every creature is beloved by me. I am in you, and you are in me. I am the truth that makes you free. Be still and know that I am love. I am they. I am she. I am you. I am me. Everything you think of me. Everything you do to me. I am the forests, the desert, and the sea. I am the stars. I am the life you seek to be. I am the creatures, all beloved by me. I am in you to make you free. Be still and know that I am love. I am in you, you are in me. I am the truth that makes you free. Be still and know that I am love, never changing love, ever present love. As we go forth now from this meditation to those places we occupy in time and space, let us go forth with a greater determination to keep our meditations daily, that we may become emissaries of divine joy. And for this opportunity in every moment, let us feel gratitude for the miracle of being alive in God. To this, let us say, Amen. We will take an offering for unity now. As we take our offerings in our hands, let's bless them honestly and truthfully. All the power through our lives that we have given to money to determine who we are and what we will do, just rest and relax a moment and realize this truth that you have not fully understood. It is in giving that you receive, not grasping, not wanting, not fearing, but in giving, giving, giving. So as we take our offerings in our hands, let's bless them with this offering statement. Divine love is my true life and my conscious destiny. Therefore, I give. Together, please. Divine love is my true life and my conscious destiny. Therefore, I give.
love, serve and remember love. Why have you come to earth? Do you remember? Why have you taken birth? Why have you come to love, serve and remember? To love, serve and remember. Why have you come to earth? Do you remember? Why have you taken birth? Why have you come to love, to serve and remember? To love, to serve and remember. To love, serve and remember. To love, serve and remember. 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 Love, serve and
The 11 o'clock service will be given by Santisha. She has an amazing talk to follow this one. And Shad gave almost this exact talk last night at 5 o'clock at his Saturday service. So if you're not doing anything on Saturdays at 5 o'clock, you ought to stop in and listen to Shad share from his own spiritual awareness. So all of you enjoy this mystical, beautiful